Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game will feature a team that loves getting it done through the air. The Redskins are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against the Raiders defense that will need to be on its game. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Oakland Raiders and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they enter play here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensive starters now. Charles, what about Latavius Murray?
You know how you and I talk about players under the radar sometimes? Latavius Murray definitely qualifies as one of those players. And then you look up, and he's pressing 1,000 yards every year.
They go with Murray again, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. And here is the Redskin defense.
Josh Norman was not a first-round pick when he entered the NFL, but he always thought he should be. Never lacked for confidence, and now he plays at a Pro Bowl level.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So the hard count gets them there, neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defense thought they had the timing down, but the quarterback hit him with a hard count, got him to jump.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first, very well for the rest of the drive.
6 yards to go here on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. He'll return it from the 6. Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And the Redskins will take possession for the 1st and 10. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led by their 6'6" quarterback out of Indiana. It's Nate Sudfeld. Now the first carry for Matt Jones. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll go again to Jones. And he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. How do you get much more balance than this? Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Dotson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Redskin defense. They get set for this next possession. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. Play fake here on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Five yards to gain here on third down. Now Carr. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
Here's Carr. Wright's got it. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Carr to throw on second down. Complete to Wright. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. First down, Murray. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Old school defensive tackle play dictators just stood up and danced with the guy in front of you. And if a guy came near, tackle him. New school, you don't want to just dance. You want to get past it, get upfield, and make the play in the backfield. A big-time play there.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. Now they'll run. Murray. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Marshall now, the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look now at the Oakland defense as they get ready. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky, preach. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and that brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
They'll set up a throw, and it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Murray. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And counting the defense here, the Redskins have 6 defensive backs out there. Play action. Now it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Redskins scoop it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Redskins offense now. They head back onto the field. In motion, the tight end Reed. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Automatic 1st down.
One man in the backfield, that's Jones. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And he'll get it up the middle. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll drop to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
No, check, Patriot! Over!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So that's the word from the referee. Neutral zone infraction, 5 yards.
And, of course, the defense is always pointing at the offense about how they drew them across. Flag goes against the defenders on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 22 on that one. Good enough for an Oakland first down.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, it gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. Carr, it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that is preach, swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Now Carr. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Clive Walford, his first touchdown on the year. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. One man in the backfield, that's Jones. Back to throw here. Incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and it's 3rd and short.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Let's go.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Out to the left here to Reed. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they're operating in the red zone. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Carr now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Carr to throw again. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal, a loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down. And how big would this win be for the defense here? 3rd down and goal from the 10. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Back to throw. And this is incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Raiders will take possession. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. 2nd down following the run.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop. That guy playing the defensive tackle position. But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position. It's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. 3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man, hand him the ball, and let him get upfield and pick up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terrell Pryor, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins have once again taken the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
So a costly penalty and now a tougher 3rd down situation. Shotgun now for Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Marquette King now, standing his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now come the Redskins. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Deshaun Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This is fielded at the goal line. Muscles him off. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked somewhere else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd down, 8. They come out here in the eye. Carr turns, hands to Murray. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Carr, they'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Surveying the field. Still, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. It felt like he was in the pocket all day, never got rid of it.
And when you have that much time, you've got to either find someone open or get rid of it, because with that amount of time to throw the ball, that means the offensive line's done a really nice job.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Here we go. Green, 30. Leopard. Back that up. No. Check. Patriot. Gun. All right, now. Lucky 56. Lucky 50.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Under pressure, and down he goes. Aldon Smith from his out. Outside linebacker spot. He comes up to drop him for a loss of 10.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Back to throw here. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It'll go as a gain of 12, and the Raiders are going to have a 1st down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too. And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunky yardage picked up there.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
All right, so 1st down, 5 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On play action, they'll throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Oh, looked like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a 1st down.
Automatic 1st down.
And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the 1st.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll set up a throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Defense. Still first down.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
One final try now for Carr. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen?